Oh shit. Right. I had a little bit of a hiccup. I'm aware that no one's joined me yet. I think everyone's still waiting for me on the other stream, which just didn't transpire. It said something went wrong. And then just an option to click. So I clicked it and it just ended the live. So I've had to start again. So I do apologise. Hi, Joanna. You all right? I'm glad you're there. I'm glad I'm not on my own. Just going to grab a piece of paper. I'll be right back. Yeah, I think most people are still waiting for me to turn up on a live stream that's not going to happen. Just a technical issue, nothing to do with me. Always blame the computer for technical difficulties. Always blame the dog for farts. That's what you need to do. Right, so I'll jump straight in there. So, right, so I did read an article, and I know this isn't an isolated article. I know it's not an isolated problem, an isolated issue. Just mass culling of hens, perfectly healthy hens, right? Now, I believe that the whole bird flu thing is an absolute load of bollocks, right? They just push more and more lies onto us. That's all they do is lie. They're really, really good at lies. All of these people have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree in bullshit. This, right? So they wiped out. This is the last article I read. They wiped out 1 million hens. 1 million. Now they don't just do it. Passing them, in some sort of humane way, or go around and just snap the necks, which is the old school way of doing it if you're a homesteader. They went in there with flamethrowers. Now, yeah, some of you might be thinking, flamethrowers? Well, that's a really, really efficient way of getting rotisserie chicken. We've got to laugh about this, because if we don't, we'll lose our fucking nuts. So they're coming after. They want you to stop eating eggs. It's not so much the chicken. I don't think they really give a shit about how much chicken you eat. It's the eggs, especially organic. Because I've put so many. Just say hi to everyone. Hi, Bo Witchy. And hey Ray, got a nice ring to it. Yeah, so we all know how good eggs are, that they are a superfood, right? We all know this, and I've put loads and loads of little things in the community section that most of you have seen at some point, just as to what's actually in an organic egg. It's incredible. And so I've been in touch with 2 eBay sellers, and I've managed to get them to knock some money off. Now, obviously, buying, if you were to stock up on eggs, like 100 eggs, you're not going to get through them before they go off, unless you're like egg after egg after egg after egg, And it's an old wives' tale that they bung you up. It's a load of bollocks. It's a load of bollocks about a lot of things I've said about eggs, and now, as time's gone by, we've started to realise just why. they've lied to us about eggs and hidden the truth about how good they are for us. So the only way, I've nearly finished this because I'm also aware that, you know, when I've forgotten his name again, the guy with the one eye, with the lovely Julia, when he's doing a video with his pipe, it fucks me off because he spends so much time lighting it and trying to get it going because he keeps going out. I'm just thinking, get on with it, crack on with it, lad. So I know I'm probably doing the same. So I'm going to put this out. I've noticed I've just started, the amount I'm smoking is starting to creep up a little bit. So I'm aware of that. So I'm starting to cut down again. Because it's just put one out. So keeping fresh eggs, unless you've got hens, secret hens, away from the government's eyes, then you can't really keep organic eggs long term in their fresh form. So the only other way of stocking up on good quality eggs is by freeze-dried, powdered organic eggs. It's the only way. Now, I've found two eBayers that have agreed to put a code, a promotional code on for you guys, so you can get 10% off. I was gonna just go in there with a cheeky 5%, but I thought, no, if they're going to go for it, they'll go for it, because 10% is 10%. It's more of an incentive for you guys to buy off them, and overall, they'll more than make that profit back in the amount of sales that they make. So you can either rewind this back at some point after the video, after the live, or you can grab a pen and paper and write this down now. One appears to be cheaper than the other one, but the reason I've still got two is because one of these sellers, because I'm assuming that these two codes are going to be, I don't know why this is blurring in and out, I do apologize. One of these two sellers are probably going to have some different like variety of products. So you might be able to get one thing from one eBay seller and then something different from another that the other doesn't sell, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to start working on some other eBay sellers. So if you can just in the comments section after this live's finished, if there's anything that you guys think that you could use, that you think you'd benefit from a prepper standpoint, then drop it in the comments and I'll go to town on them. I will. I've done it before. You know, there'll be a few of you guys that have been with me for a long time that will know that I've done this before. And I want to just assure you that I don't get anything. I'll get the same amount knocked off as you do. That's it. I don't do this for gain. We should be helping each other. And that's exactly what we do. So it's organic freeze-dried whole egg powder, right? And one thing you've got to take into account is that you can dehydrate eggs. So that is another alternative, but you do lose a lot of the goodness. Everyone knows that freeze drying any food, including meat, it holds on to a lot more of the goodness, hell of a lot more. It doesn't lose much. So this is freeze dried. So all of those really, really good things, that massive list of all the good things that are in organic eggs will still be there, you know? So I don't know if anyone's managed to grab hold of a pen and paper, or if you want to just wait until the end of the stream, that's fine. So I'll read it out. So the first seller is Shoppers Planet. So it's Shoppers Planet, just exactly how it's spelled, but it's all one word. It's all in lowercase. For that, you're going to need the code all in uppercase, Rose Hippie Guy, all one word, 10. So no spaces. Rose Hippie Guy 10, uppercase. Their organic freeze-dried whole egg powder is the cheapest one of the two. I'll read the next one out to you in a minute. But again, one might have stuff that the other one's not got. So there's 10% off. So that should, from my research, be the cheapest source of organic freeze-dried egg powder that you're going to be able to get, with 10% knocked off. But yeah, have a look to see what else they've got as well. I mean, there might be some other stuff in there that you might find useful. But eggs, it's a superfood. It's something we need to stock up on. I've stocked up on it. I've started working my way through it. It's best before late 2016. So I've got plenty of time. And another thing to take into account is it doesn't constitute back to the same as it did. You know, if you crack 2 or 3 eggs open in a frying pan, add a little bit of grated cheese to it, and then make it into scrambled egg, it will look slightly different when you reconstitute this powdered egg. It doesn't taste quite as good. There is stuff that you can do. You can throw it into dishes. I'm just being honest with you. I've tried it, you know. So it's something well worth packing, you know, and vacuum packed, so it just lasts for even longer. So it's not as good as fresh eggs, but the goodness is still there, and it's more practical from a prepper standpoint. The second seller is Yours, all in lowercase, dash marketplace, all in lowercase. That's the other seller. When you look up organic freeze-dried whole egg powder, it'll probably come up with these 2 sellers first, but I did go through a load. But these are right up there. I think, yeah, I think you can get them so that they're sponsored, so they get to the top of the list. eBay make a bit more money that way. But I did have a really good look. So Yours dash marketplace, all one word. So Yours dash marketplace, all lowercase, all one, no doubt, no spaces. That's 10% off as well. So if they've got anything in the first one hasn't got, get it from there. And the code, they can't use the same code as the one that someone else is using. So I've had to change that one slightly, and that's Rose Hippie Guy, all uppercase, and then a small cross, small x, 10. So if everyone's got that, hey Lana, you all right, lass? Are you? Here you are. I know. I'm so sorry. It came up with some stupid thing saying error, blah blah blah. Try again. Yeah, of course I want to try again. I want to do a fucking live stream. I'm already behind schedule, so it just restarted me. So I had to do the whole thing all over again. So I do apologise. So they are 2 eBay shops that have committed, and I don't know how long the offer is going to be on for. They usually put them for about 2 weeks, but I've asked them to get back to me and let me know how long it's going to be for. I think it's until things start to drop off again, because they'll go through a peak, because that's what happened last time. They'll go through a peak of sales, then it'll start to drop off because everyone's got stocked up, you know. I mean, I've got organic powdered egg in tubs. I've got so many tubs, and I don't know what they're in. I don't know which ones they're in. So there are going to be some food items in some of my tubs that I'm going to have to throw away eventually as I work my way through them, because there's a lot, you know. So I was just watching, so flame throwing. 1 million hens, and that's in one occasion. One, you know, and they're doing it all over the world. Sickening. It's murder. All right, Michael, aka the Outrider. Hope you're doing all right, matey. So I don't know if any of you guys watch Dr. Sam Bailey. I really like her. I've always liked her. I'm sure there's going to be someone at some point who's going to say, she's one of them. She's in on it. Again, this is how the world's gotten us. We'd like to the point where we don't trust anyone anymore. And I have come, you know, there have been people that I thought, yeah, I like him, or yeah, I like her, and then someone's pointed something out, and then I've asked for evidence of this, and they've kind of pointed me in the right direction of certain information, and it's put a slant on some people. But so far, Sam Bailey, bang on. You know, she doesn't get any money from Google because none of her videos get monetized. None of them, because of the nature of the information that she puts out there. It's highly unlikely that if I never ever will ever remember this word, right? But if I did, there's a chance that one of my videos would be monetized, because I don't hold back. I don't, and we shouldn't have to. None of us ever. So if you look at Sam Bailey's most recent video from today, and a few of her back catalogue videos that talks about polio, you know, no need for a vaccine. Fuck you, YouTube. There isn't. She does such a deep dive on things, and she gets everything correlated together so well that it just gives you a really, really simple layman's term picture of reality. You know? So Sam Bailey's video, I would recommend that you watch her video from today. And I'm sure most of you guys are already subscribed to Off Grid with Doug and Stacey. I don't watch their lives because they just go on and on and on and on and on and on. You know, I like to get to the nitty gritty. I want to find out the shit, you know, the real dirt. That's what I want to know. I don't want to know about your special cups of tea and stuff from what you're flogging. You know, not interested. I just want to know the juicy bits, which is what most of us want. You know, let's cut through all the crap. But yeah, he's done quite a decent like 5-10 minute video today as well, Doug. And yeah, Palantir, you know, they've got their you know, the octopus that you've seen in James Bond films. I'm sure that's subliminal messaging, because if you put all of these really, really fucked up organizations and corporations together, they are like an octopus, because they've got the hands and fingers, the tentacles, if you like, in everything. You know, BlackRock, Vanguard, Palantir. Yeah, the list can go on and on and on and on. I bet you could just reel a list off in the chat that they're taking. Your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try to connect you. Let me know if anything goes wrong. By the way, everyone, Butterfly, who's just joined us, that's Ruth Smith. She's knocked her old channel on. I like the little high that she's done there. Very cute, just like your chuckle, Ruth. Yeah, you know, I know that I've in the community section, in the community tab, right from the start, I've told you that I don't trust Trump, right? His team, and I think there's more and more and more and more information coming out now. As long as you keep your finger on the pulse of the planet and your ear to the ground, you know, you'll be putting all these pieces together. But there are so many people out there, stupid fucking people, and I can't apologize if you're one of them. I can't, because you're just part of the problem. You know, I never intend to offend, and I genuinely mean that. But people who are just believing, you see that right? So this hope, and then this hopium. Hope is genuine; it's real, right? And it's something that we've all got. It's something that no one can take away from us because it's there. It's part of us, right? Hopium is fake hope, right? Artificial hope. That's what Trump is. So all of these executive orders that he's just reeling off one by one, and you've got all of these naive fuckwits going, oh, he's going to change the world. That's it. We're all saved. No, you're not. Put all of that faith into yourself, you know? And I know I keep saying it. I'm saying it because it's the truth. It's the truth, you know? Enough of the hopium. Enough of it. You know? We've got to start being realistic. All we've got is ourselves and each other. It's happened for a few seconds 3 times now. I do apologise, guys. I don't know why. I don't know why. I've not really had a problem before. I know that we do get the occasional where it goes black and then comes back to normal, and then goes black and comes back to normal. And I see it on the screen when it happens. I don't have to make a little kind of different profile pics of me so they can, you know. I don't give a shit if they are. I don't care because it is what it is. So, right. So my opinion on Trump is either complicit and knowingly part of it, or his ego, which is massive, has gotten in the way of his judgment. It's one or the other. Now, there are few people on this planet that have got an ego as big as Trump. It's like unemployment down at the lowest amount in 45,000 years because of me. I'm the only one that could do it. No one else could do it. The list goes on. It goes on. You know, I'm deregulating this and deregulating that and do it. No one's ever deregulated any of those things before. I'm the first to do it because I'm amazing. That's Trump. Massive, massive ego. Now, you don't want people with massive egos running countries. You need strong people with strong principles, and you can do that. I wish my phone had shut the fuck up. I'll turn it off. You don't want massive egos running your country. You need strong men or women with strong principles that they're not prepared to budge on. That's what you need. Not egos. Egos get in the way. Egos cloud your judgment. And talking of egos, so one person that you probably won't see, because I mean it's a public live stream, so anyone can join. One of the things that you won't see is Gunnar David, because out of nowhere he just turned on me like a Jekyll and Hyde. Just because I bought a book he recommended. This, you know, some of you might be aware of this book, right? Some of you might get something out of it. I don't get anything out of it, you know. And I gave it a good going over, but then I also researched the man behind the book, you know, and I found fault after fault after fault. He was in a perfect position with millions of followers, millions of people that have bought his book and other books, millions of people that pay stupid amounts of money to go on his little courses. Yet in 2020, 21, 22, right up to now, right? Not did he once try and warn his massive audience, be careful about the jabs. Just do a little bit of research. That's all he needed to say. Do a bit of research. Be careful about the jabs. That's it. You know, he wouldn't have incriminated himself. He wouldn't have had his channel taken down just by saying those two things. Nothing. But he could have made a massive difference, but he didn't. He did fuck all. So I'm not interested in that book. He also kicked off about the fact that he'd spent an hour putting a recipe together. I'm aware that he's got bad eyesight. I'm not here just going to slag one man off. I just need to get this off my chest because the guy just turned on me. And we got on really, really well. And out of nowhere, he just flipped. He's just unbelievably abusive. So I've had to delete all of his comments and kick him out. You know, I'm all for freedom of speech. Say whatever you want. Now, there have been plenty of people over the years that have emailed me and said, Terry, you know, when you said blah, 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 think about it like this. Just saying. It's all about approach. And I've taken on board, and you know who you are. I've taken on board what you've said. But yeah, speak to me in emails if you want to get passionate about something. It's all about approach, but I won't take a barrage of insults from anyone, you know, online or face to face, ever. I won't tolerate it. There's no need. That's not what we're about, you know. We're about balance. We're about being really, really honest, being really, really straightforward with each other, supporting each other, making sure that we don't feel alone, you know. Just trying to do what we can, share information. There's no room for that sort of shit. So he's gone. And if he pops up in the chat and does a public apology, which he won't, then, you know, welcome back. Just tone it down a little bit. But he won't. Right. You're truly scared for this, and I no trust, no government. Everyone's a little bit nervous, you know, because we get nervous because of the unknown. That's it. And change. Some people struggle with change, and I understand that as well. I'm not a massive change, but I'm completely and totally aware that it's 100% inevitable. There's no way around that. Change is change. It's something you can't stop. Death and change. That's it. Two things you can't. So all you need to do is just try and find coping mechanisms and talk to people, communicate, you know, and that does make things a lot easier. And spend a bit of time around nature, you know, and exercise. You sweat. Hi, no name. Oh yeah. Evening all. Yeah. Hello, no name. Have you got any idea why you've not got a username? Not that it is, but hello anyway, no name. Sadly, the outcomes will be the same with AI Stargate. Yeah. And Trump's plowing shitloads of money, taxpayers, into that. Billions and billions, you know. All of this is just to make sure that we can be monitored under a magnifying glass. Everything we do, everything we say, everything we eat, everywhere we go, you know. Now, I'm hoping that what happens off the back of that, because humans are notoriously defiant, unless you're a weak fucking sheep, which I don't think any of us are. Now, because of our defiant nature in the face of tyranny, so, for example, if someone said, would you mind helping me to do this? you'd consider it, especially if you're a good person, which I know you guys are. I would. I'd consider it. Depends on what it is. If someone turns around and says, do that, well, fuck off, you know? And that's where we're at. We've got too many people saying, do that. And we need to say, fuck off. So I'm hoping that as a result of all of this, all of these so-called leaders and their handlers interfering in our lives on such an unbelievable, ridiculous level, that we start to go to each other's houses, leave our phones at home, and just congregate around people's houses. And then these small group that starts to get established, you know, it started with things like stand in the park, for example. You know, a lot of people would leave the phones at home and they'd meet up with people, like-minded people, in a park somewhere and get chatting and networking. So it'll be like that, but in your neighborhood, in your communities, and then each group will start to join other groups and your groups will get bigger. What you need to do is get rid of that take over. The ones that take over, where you're trying to put your point across and they're going, well, I don't agree with that. And if someone else says something, well, I don't agree with that. I think, fuck off. Get rid of them, because you'll get nowhere. You won't move any further forward with twats like that in your group, right? Take no prisoners. It's got to be even, equal, and fair. Everyone should be able to get their say in. And as for policing, you know, I've said right from the start, we should be policing ourselves. We don't need the police. The police have got nothing to do with us. Fuck all to do with us. We're living and breathing men and women. I know I've said this before. They work for a corporation. Corporations are dead. We're not dead. They've got no jurisdiction over us. If a police officer put one hand on me, I could flip him around, get him on the floor and arrest him. A citizen's arrest for assault. I could. It's the law. They work for a corporation, the Crown Corporation. They've got no jurisdiction over you. So there's one reason, you know, we don't need these. And then you look at these paedophile hunters. Yeah, some of them do it for clicks and likes. But I think the vast majority of them do it because they know that the police are fucking useless. Absolutely useless at it. They can pull together a case brimming with undeniable evidence, right, in the space of a week. Something that the police, I would say the police would take never, because they don't bother. You know, they're more bothered about going out and extracting more and more money out of you with their speed cameras and speeding fines, you know, and this and that and whatever, and enforcing, turning up at people's houses where bailiffs are trying to illegally take someone's home and then helping the bailiffs. They're not on your side. I am anti-police. I am an anarchist. We don't need them. A lot of people. Yeah. So you've got the paedophile catchers, and then you've got these rapid response teams that are turning up at people's houses, putting the police in their place and getting rid of these usually these foreign fucks. You know, I got SIA, ain't it, mate? Yeah, I don't care. I got SIA. I'm SIA. Approved security for this house. Okay, fuck off. They're there illegally. So you've got the people stepping up, right, to take people's homes back from the banks. You've got people stepping up and doing what we thought was the police's job to catch nonsense. You know, there'll be people stepping up and stepping up and stepping up and stepping up in loads and loads of other areas of life. And we will take over. Don't ever forget, we are the 99%, even though a big chunk of them are useless fucking eaters, cowards. Remember, slavery, bravery. You're one or the other. Thing, and I was hearing about this about 10 years ago, this smart dust, because we're breathing in and it circulates around our entire body. They've got state-of-the-art equipment because of that can see your exact position on the other side of a wall, so that when they breach the house, they know exactly where everyone is. They see if anyone's armed because of the way that they're holding their hands, you know. Not to mention what this nanotech's made of. And we're constantly having to think about whether or not it's in our food, in our water, in our air, medication. But they're not there yet. Just know that. You know, we're on track. We've just got to have the right attitude. You know, just takes a bit of courage and some balls. That's all. Yeah, a hive mind. You see, if we had an organic starting point, it'd be brilliant, because we'd all be helping each other. But their version of a hive mind is pretty fucked up. It won't let me write it. It's glitching and won't let me write. It's going nuts. I'll try again when I'm not watching and see if it stops glitching. Yeah, it might be. It's got nothing to do with me. I've just done the Wallace and Gromit thing. Oh, Wallace or Gromit. Get them too mixed up. They will sell it to the masses under the "we can cure cancer forever." Yeah, the polio mRNA jab and the cancer mRNA jab. We were talking about the cancer mRNA jab about a year ago on this channel through videos, and all of a sudden Prince Charles has got cancer and he's been cured by this miracle new cure. And then you've got Cunty Kate with a suddenly getting cancer, but it's benign, but it's not benign, but it says benign, but it's not benign. But she's had that this miracle cure anyway. You know, they think we're stupid, and there are a lot of people, unfortunately. Like I said, we have to be the light. And if it means being very, very forthright and frank with people, then so be it. Because pussyfooting around's not doing anything. Going on these marches with big banners and harsh language is doing it. Like they say, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result, that's the definition of insanity. So make of that what you will. Take from that what you will. Yeah. Yeah, you might have to whatever you've got to say, but even then, you know, I think it can be even more difficult to put very controversial comments in the comments section after a live, because it's easier for them to just take them out, whereas if you're doing it in real time, it gives them less of a chance to do that. But I don't know what the answer is, you know. It's just something we've got to tolerate for now. But it doesn't stop me from saying what I'm saying. You know, this is why it'd be nice if we could get like 3 or 4 of us on one screen, all saying our bit, all getting information out verbally, because they can't cut our voices off. They can cut the chat off, they can cut the comments off, but when we're all doing it live, you know, if we've got 3 or 4 of us on the screen, how are they going to deal with that? Unless they knock on the door. And I'm ready for that. Section 24A of the Police and Criminal Act is the legislation that allows anyone to arrest to prevent a crime or is a crime going on. Yep. And that's exactly what the police do, right? But you hand your power over to that police officer as soon as you say yes after he said, do you understand? You then stand under that police officer. Policing by consent. So never say yeah to do you understand after they've read out the bullshit Miranda rights. You know? I remember walking. I was walking from not Farm Foods, Iceland. This is going back a couple of years now. I had to. I had to plan ahead just to leave the house. So I'd plan it ahead. I'd go like there, home. Then I'm happy just to be home. Dark days. So anyway, came out of Iceland, and I saw a police car come in, and I didn't want to obviously not get myself ran over, but I wanted to make a point. So I stepped out in front of this police car, which was about 5-6 meters away, put my hand out to stop them, and then carried on walking over, knowing full well that they would stop, right? And they came over to me and they said, did you see what you just did there? I said, what do you mean? They said, you just walked straight out in front of our car. We could have hit you. I said, well, you didn't hit me. And she said, this was a woman. There was a woman and a bloke, but she was the one with all that. And I said, can I just ask you a question, officer? She said, yeah, but be quick because we're parked, we're obstructing traffic. I said, well, that's your fault. You know, you're actually breaking the law by doing that, because I haven't broken the law. I've not broken the law. You come over to me, you're obstructing the traffic, you're breaking the law, I'm not breaking the law. And if you read the what's the name of it now? The highway code, I think you'll find that it says that pedestrians have right of way. And that's what I exercised. Gobsmacked. Off you pop. And I knew what I was doing. You know? I love putting these bastards in their place. I fucking love it. Because they deserve it. They deserve it. This 2-tier shit. You know? These light sentences. This turning the other cheek. You know? Fuck them. We can police ourselves. We just need to get organised. Sorry about the rant. I hate the words I've got to do. You don't have to do anything but take the consequences. That's it. That's one of the biggest problems we've got is like, but what if? Well, what if? If everyone was like that, we'd get nowhere. You know, we get absolutely nowhere. we'd go back in time. We'd just be slaves. And I'm not prepared to live on my knees. It's never going to happen. I'm not built that way. Too many people worrying about shit, you know, that probably will never happen. They just need to stand up and grow a pair. It's very simple. But yeah, keep up the good work, Joanna Morgan. Keep encouraging, you know. But one of the most important things is leading by example, you know, doing something that they would think, oh, I don't know, you know, just lead by example. People will follow. They will. But you've got to mean it. You've got to be sincere. They are on their way to implementing the mark with the technology coming out. Yeah, let them, you know. Come on then, you know. Fuck them. Don't worry about it. Yeah, about the SIA thing, I put something up on the. I think if you look again and make sure that it is SIA, if you look it up, because I've not looked again, but I was informed by the person that sent me that that wasn't actually accurate. That's why it was taken down. So I do apologise if that is right. I've not double checked, but I have taken it down because I don't want to put stuff up on there that's not right or real, you know, because it just affects integrity. You know, I'm not always going to get it right. I'm not. I'm only human, but I'll try. Yeah. They can already see where everyone is in a house due to Wi-Fi bouncing off objects, creating a digital map. I heard about that and saw something about that, Lorna. I can't remember where it was, but yeah, I mean, it is possible for us to. It is possible for us to. You can get these cages that you can put around your Wi-Fi. Whether or not they work or not is another question. You know, the only other alternative is just turning everything off at night, or just turning the Wi-Fi on when you need it, if you need it. Do we really need it? But even then, I've got next door's Wi-Fi bouncing through, going right through my house into next door's house. And I've got next door's house coming right the way through my house into their house. You know, I can't go knocking on doors saying, I'm ready for bed now. Can you turn your fucking Wi-Fi off? Wouldn't go down very well. It's something to consider. Always film the police and always ask questions rather than answer them. Who knows? Asking is as king in the interaction. Yeah, own it. You own them. You're paying for them. You know, you're pay. Imagine if your money. Imagine if when you get your council tax, by the way, and that's something I'll be working. I've got two things that I'm going to be fighting first. When I've achieved those two things, then I'll start on two more, which will probably be my council tax and my water rates. And then when I've done that, I'll work on my electric and my gas. And when I've done that, I'm going to be desperate to something else to fucking fight. But yeah, any interaction with the police, always film it. Always film it because you've got hard evidence there. Or if you're in cuffs, right, and they should never cuff you around the back if they're giving you a search. It should always be at the front. And even then, it should only be if you're a threat. And even then, they shouldn't be coming anywhere fucking near you. Unless they've just witnessed you committing a crime. You know? And then, only then, can they do a citizen's arrest on you. Unless you comply with their Miranda rights and stand under them. Well, own them, because you do. So yeah, if your council tax bill came through and it was all itemised, it's like local council, ambulance or whatever, blah de blah de blah, blah de blah de blah, and office worker in an accountant's firm down the road. You'd be thinking, well, why are you paying for the police? They work for a corporation. They don't work for you. You're paying for them. An income tax. Why is people paying income tax? And all of these companies out there that are worried now because the income tax side of things has been put on the owners of the companies. When they're already paying their tax. Now this hefty income tax that's been put onto the employer as opposed to the employee, all they need to do is just stop paying it. It's voluntary. Look into it. But they won't, because they're cowards. I live in a world full of fucking cowards. Present company, you know, I just lose. I lose it sometimes. It's so frustrating because I see all of this, just like you see all of this, and there are so many simple answers to it, you know, to these problems. So many simple solutions to these problems. Well, we're just, you know, we're a shortage of warriors and too many sheep, too many cowards. For now, you know, people need to get more riled. We saw it last summer. You know, that's just a tiny. You imagine that happening right the way around the world. Imagine that. It only takes a couple of people, the right people, to kick it off. Not these infiltrating, dirty fucking pigs, you know, that creep in there, dressed like us, you know, all masked up, and then they throw a bottle or a wheelie bin, and then everyone else starts to do the same, like sheep. Yeah, it only takes a few good men and women. I turned this off, and it's still on. But I saw something earlier on, and I loved it. It was a meme, a really good. Memes are so powerful. The AI struggles to work memes out. The algorithms, so they're a lot easier to slip through, you know, and simple to pass on, and simple to understand. And where is it? I don't know if you can see that. There. That is Trump in a MAGA hat with millions of MAGA fucking sheep, and he's herding them towards the end of a cliff. I'll share that with you guys if you want to pass it on, you know, because it's a powerful meme and very accurate. Again, he's either complicit and knows exactly what he's doing, or his ego has just gotten in the way and he's just blind. He's just making all the same mistakes again. I don't think it's the latter. I think it's a combination of both. Yeah, just that. In fact, you don't even need to say that, Lana. You are now excused, officer. You can pop with a little smile. Good. They hate it. There's nothing they can do about it. Nothing. And because they're all egos in fancy dress and ex-bully victims and roidheads, they can't handle being disrespected when that's all they deserve. The vast majority of them. I've probably met cops in my entire life, in over 50 years of life. 5 cops that I thought were all right, you know, and I've met a lot of cops. 5. They rely on neuro-linguistic programming and our ignorance. Educate yourselves on the legislation they use most. You see, the thing is, though, these are all acts and statutes. They mean nothing to us, nothing, because all they do is just bury common law. And I mean, there are people out there. One woman comes to mind that probably none of you have ever heard of, because she's just got a group on Telegram. I think it's called Stacey's World. Her name's Stacey. She doesn't give a shit about any law, just natural law. This is right, this is wrong. You know, in this situation, I'm right, you're wrong. Fuck off. She takes no prisoners. Stacey's World on Telegram, and if you go in there, she can help you with so much, and there's so much information on there. If you've got a Telegram account, so much information. But don't go in there as a weakling. Don't go in there as a victim, because she'll hammer you. Hammer you. She takes no prisoners. Right, so the SIA is no longer operating then. So that means that any security. So how can you get licensed to security then? Because you've got to be licensed. Can you look into who's taken its place? No name, or is that David? Because they've got to be licensed. They've got to be regulated somehow. They have to be. And if they're not, then they're all illegal. You know? I'm surprised Bannerman's not said anything. You know? Because I'm a big fan of him. I love to see the people winning. I love it. It's all it does is just spurs us on more and more and more. Still glitching for a few secs now and again. Quick things to try if you want. Switch Wi-Fi off on mobile. Move mobile further away. Yeah, I'll try that. Bear with me, guys. It's very, very, very out of the way. It's not far from being outside, so we'll try that. Just keep me informed and let me know if that's made any difference, because I don't know what else to do. And this light's not very bright. Other tabs open. Yeah, there is one. Let me close that one down. Only one. But as they say in Asda, every little helps. I fucking hate that place. I don't remember the last time I shopped there, or Tesco's. But I am missing having a car. But I've found a solution on getting back into training again, because I've missed that so much. Elon said, I am Black MAGA. Black MAGA. Do you know, someone pointed out to me, I've put my phone away now. So, well, you know, in your emojis, I don't know about iPhone. I've never had an iPhone. I've always been Samsung, you know, one of the biggest government contractors in the world as far as weaponry is concerned. And we've got them here. Well, I haven't. I've always got mine on loudspeaker. I never had my phone next to my head, ever. Me cave woman. I like that. I could just picture you in like a leopard skin, but then I like leopards. Some sort of skin, you know. and change your name to Jane or something like that, and meet someone called Tarzan. Oh dear. And yeah, David Guna, he accused me of being misogynist, you know. And I'm thinking, some of the women, definitely some of the women that watch these live streams would never tolerate a misogynist, you know. And I don't think I am. The amount of times I've said I wish women ruled the world, and saying that I come out with adult content now and then. Yeah, I do. Yeah, you know, I'm British. You know, I'm from a generation where Carry On films were on the TV. You know, and Confessions of a Taxi Driver in the 70s and 80s. So what? You know, it's just humour. It's British humour. We're renowned for it. It's what we do. My lovely late husband always said the power is in the hands of the people. I get my strength through him. Your husband was 100% correct there, Joanna. 100%. You know, we've got the collective knowledge. We've got the collective common sense, which I know some people would think, I don't know about that. We have, as a collective, we have. And we've got the numbers, you know. It's just, how much are you prepared to tolerate? I mean, I'm just one man. How far would I get to Downing Street? There's no way I'm going to be able to get all the way down to London, then down to Downing Street, then in through the various security measures that they've got, and armed police, open the door and drag that cunt out by his fucking nostrils and drag him through the streets of London. I can't do that because it just wouldn't work. So yeah, I've got rid of the other tab, Lana. So if it's still glitching, I've got absolutely no idea what to do. I don't know what else to do. They've either changed the company name and registered that, or the Home Office has taken direct control over the SIA. Now that's an interesting thought, and it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Just scum, you know. It's all about control. They want complete and total control. Now, whenever they've tried to achieve that, historically, it's gone horrifically wrong for them. You know, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of Oliver Cromwells out there. Hundreds, if not thousands, of various other historical figures that turned the tide, and some tried to turn the tide but were thwarted because they got stabbed in the back. You know, that's another thing that we've got to be careful of. I mean, anyone could report anything that I've said on a live stream straight to Google or to the police as hate speech or defamatory language or whatever. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech, and I'll exercise that until I die. You know, and you should do the same. As soon as your speech or your freedom of speech has been removed, because it hasn't yet. Listen to me. I'm talking freely, you know. As soon as your freedom of speech has been removed, it's going to be a tough battle to get back up that hill. Because we'll slide right down. All of the effort that we put into getting as far up the hill as we've got so far, we'll be back to square one almost. You know, we can't allow that to happen, which is why I encourage absolute freedom of speech. Comment section in the chat, on your own channels. Fuck them. Yeah, Bo Ritchie, you know, as I was saying that, I was also imagining it, and I got a right buzz. Just the thought of doing that to him, dragging him out. I've got these fingers don't look very big, but they're strong, you know. They get right inside there, just drag him through the streets of London as he's kicking and screaming like a little bitch that he is. That's all he is, a little bitch. You know, the amount of money that these people are shelling out for in regards to security now is ridiculous. That's a good sign. It's a good sign. Keep looking for these silver linings. They're everywhere. Everywhere. I'm sorry, I'm having another fag because I got myself a little bit. It's almost, I spend like, it's like sex. After sex, if you're a smoker, I don't like a fag up after sex, or I don't remember. But when you've expelled a lot of energy, you know, have a fag. It's traditional. Since it's still glitched once again, since I think it may be the autofocus on the cam, the more animated you get with hands when, yeah, you see, right. So I think what I'll do is I am quite an animated person, and I do talk. I'm trying to be mindful of that now. I'm quite animated as a person. I do talk with my hands quite a lot. Not like that, you know, like a ventriloquist. But I am quite animated, so I'll keep that in mind, and I'll try and keep quite still, just so that it doesn't affect the quality of the live, because it's an old laptop, a very old laptop. Lord only knows what my dad's been watching on it, but it's very slow, and it's got a 4K webcam attached to it. That's a lot of information for this computer to be processing. What's with these security guards who help evict people? Oh, you've been watching it then, Michael? Yeah, they're there illegally. They're there illegally, and that's why we have these rapid response units that travel all over the country. And some of these people do it for free. You know, they're having to put their own fuel in the car. Sometimes work 2 jobs just to afford to take time out or time off to be able to go and help these people. And it could be a little taste of what all these invaders are here for, you know, to police our streets. Good luck with that. I fucking relish today that happens, because they're backwards. They're backwards. It doesn't take much for one of the most impressive countries, tiny little island, to own 25% of the planet, take over 25% of the planet. We're the only country that's ever achieved that, because we're smart. And if they decide to try and police our streets, it'll be a nightmare for them, an absolute nightmare. You know, they'll drop like flies. They will drop like flies. I can help you sort it for next time. Thanks, Lana. Yeah. Yeah, any help, any help. Hate speech. I hate pork pie. So bring it on. My dad used to work for Port Farms, and I can there was on the odd occasion I'd drive by. After he left, I'd drive by, and I'd have the window down, middle of summer, or you could smell these pastries, and I think, oh man, it must have been lovely for my dad to work there. And he said, no, you get sick of it after about 3 or 4 weeks. You just get sick of the smell. And he said, and if you knew what went in the pork pies, you wouldn't eat pork pies. So I took that on board. Rapid Response are heroes. Yes, they are. They are, Michael. And I've joined my local group, my Nottingham group. But that sort of covers Derby as well. But I haven't got a car, so I'm not rapid at doing anything at the moment. But the insurance company's paid up a pittance after they've taken their slice of the pie by way of excess fees. It's not left me with much, so I've got to put a significant amount to that. Don't worry, I'm not grifting. I am no grifter. I'll never ask you for a penny, ever. But yeah, I've not got much left to play around with, but I'm hoping to get a car hopefully within the next week or so, maybe 10 days, something like that. I don't want to rush into it. I don't want to end up with another nail that's going to fuck up on me in a year, 6 months, a year, you know. Will turn into a money pit. You're offended on behalf of Melton Mowbray. Now, actually, if I was to eat a pork pie, I'd eat a handmade one from Melton Mowbray. They're lovely, lovely. Oh, Lily's in the house. And I'm back. How you doing, Lily? Okay, love. Good to see you. Yeah, I recommend. Yeah, but you see a lot of these people turning up at these rapid response units on these Telegram groups, and it's mainly men, but there are women there. Women, good warrior women there that take no shit, and they get stuck in. They get stuck right in. You know, I love it. I love it. I think it's quite attractive, actually. I love strong women, you know. Well, women love strong men. But yeah, I would recommend anyone in the UK to have a look at the Rapid Response main page, and then go from there to find your local group and then join. You know, this is how armies are formed, and that's what we need. I agreed. As soon as I get a car, I'm joining them in South Wales. Please do. Please do. Honestly, you know, the more we've got, the more of an impact we can make. It's as simple as that. It's just simple maths, common sense, you know. So if we've got thousands just in the Nottingham group, if 900 of them can't turn up for whatever reason, that's 100 people turning up. The police can't afford to send 100 police out to meet that. They can't do it. And then when you join these groups and you go out to some of these houses, you get to pick up a bit of knowledge here and there. You know, you get to learn a bit about the law that's there for you. You know, like our version of Lily's, you know, all of the amendments. Sorry, Lily, it's gone. That stands. It stands. They can't take that away from us. We can't let them. But yeah, I strongly recommend as many people join in as possible. And the sense of achievement and well-being that you'll get from helping good people against bad people, you know, little bit like Robin Hood. You'd be a little bit like Robin Hood or Rosie Hood. I can't think of another name that sounds like Robin. So Rosie just popped in there. I love strong men to carry my smelling. I'm glad you said salts. Oh dear. My smelling salts, cloak and bonnet. Oh, are you one of these, Joanna? When you fake a faint, oh. And just hope there's someone there to grab you. Otherwise, you end up with a head injury. That won't pay off. I was just pulling your leg, going on how offended people get these days, trying to end free speech. Yeah. Well, they can try and they can try and they can try. I mean, short of ripping my larynx out, it's not happening. It's not happening. You know, it doesn't matter who comes to my door; they'll get the same. You know, I've got signs up saying private property, cameras up, no trespassers, a warning that my dogs bite. So if you climb over the gate and my dogs bite you, there's nothing can happen to my dogs. It was your own fault for being a twat. You know, because you'll have your dogs, my dog's going at you and me. You know, it's not going to fare well. And if or when, more like when, the bailiffs turn up, I know exactly how to deal with them. I will take complete and total control of the situation. And within a minute, they'll be off my property. Less than a minute. You have to ask them to leave 3 times. You revoke their implied right of access, and then you ask them to leave 3 times. If they haven't left by the 3rd time, get a bat out. Baseball bat, hammer, whatever you want. Grab hold of whatever you want. You're not hitting them with it. You're just fucking saying, right, if you don't get off, you're getting it. And they'll soon go. As big as they are. And if they clamp your car on the driveway, let your tyre right down, take the clamp off, reinflate your tyre. And a lot of them have got a little Allen key underneath. If you look underneath, it is awkward to get to. Little Allen key, move the Allen key around, the whole thing comes apart. Or get an angle grinder on it. It's on your property, you know, just chuck it on the road. Or put it to one side and say, you can come and get your wheel clamp now. It's not fully functional anymore, but it's still there for you to collect. Fuck them. Take control of your life. They put my sister's car on a truck and said they were taking it for parking tickets. That's kind of what I might be looking at. But all she needed to do was get in that car, get in the car and lock it. They can't take that car while she's in it. That's the law. She had to pay $1,000 to stop them. She didn't take control of the situation well enough. No offense, Bo Witchy, but I think she could have taken control a bit more than that. That should never happen. You know. Again, people just need to brush up a little bit on. I can't remember who it was that who commented now, but someone did say just try and look up the laws on certain aspects of common things, you know, like parking tickets, like speeding tickets, stuff like that. You know, just brush up on stuff like that. And bailiffs, they've got no power over you. None. And they can't just break into your house. They can't do it. It's unlawful. So if they do, they're getting it. It'll be a long time before they get to be able to use their fingers the way they used to. And it'll all be lawful. As long as you warn them first. You've got to warn them. Yeah, you've got to have a bit of a laugh. This is all part of what we are, finding balance. So we'll talk about some dark shit, stuff that's annoying us, stuff that might be concerning us, you know, and then finding a bit of humor in there as well. So we get to talk about it whilst having a laugh, you know, and that makes us quite unique, quite special. And I'll do whatever it takes to protect that. So if we get any really, really harsh, abusive people, again, if you've got anything to say to me, anything you disagree with, anything like, just email me. You know, we can be adults. It's not a problem. I don't mind. I will get back to you, and I won't be abusive. Just don't be abusive to me. It's just I don't think I deserve shitloads of abuse. All I try and do is help. That's it. You know. So I'm sure you can imagine it would piss you off if your intentions are good and you just get a barrage of shit off someone, you know, calling you all sorts of things that you're not. After 3 times of asking them to leave, it becomes aggravated trespass. That's correct. And a criminal offence. That is correct. Then the police can be called if you wanted to go down that route, but you can deal with it yourself. You can do it. You can do it yourself. I would prefer to do it myself. It just gets more complicated when you get more people involved, especially if it's a fucking pig in fancy dress. And no offence to, if there's any coppers out there, which I doubt very, very much, that watch these live streams and you consider yourself to be a good cop, question what it is that makes you think that you're a good cop. And if you still come to the conclusion that you're a good cop, then no offence. No offence. It's all your colleagues. They're all cocks. No, she didn't. She was scared. She would be. You know, again, you've got to, this is why I say learn to lead yourself. When I say learn to lead yourself, it sounds like a really simple thing to say, but it's not as simple to do. It's a process. And once it's happened, once you learn to lead yourself, people sense it. People will sense it around you. You're fearless. No fear. You know, you own it. You own the situation. If you know you're in the right and they're in the wrong, right, own it. And you'll get the job done. You will. It's fear. Fear gets in the way of everything, you know? There's far too much of it around. They were very forceful. Yeah, they are. That's their tactic. Bullies. That's all they are. Bullies. I've dealt with bullies before. You know? Once you've dealt with them, they're not bullies anymore. You know, it changes everything. Everything. Yeah, the Castle Doctrine. Yeah, I've mentioned that a few times on the channel, and it's very real. Yeah, you should look it up. Look it up. It's very real. And the unfortunate thing is that the police, they've got their egos are so inflated that they're not bothered about any of these original laws, old laws that still stand. They're not bothered. They're not interested. I've heard about all of the man of the land and all of this and that, and that's all they come out with, just verbal diarrhea. I'd have let the air out of their tires whilst they were putting it on. That's a great idea. Yeah. Food for thought. Thank you very much for that, Lana. Why didn't I think of that? No criminal damage. Exactly. None. In fact, they're breaking the law by removing your right to move, to travel in your own personal conveyance. And get this, So if they take your car, right, basically just say to them, right, I will be calling the police. I will explain to them my car's been stolen. You get a crime reference number. Once you've got that crime reference number, it has to be investigated, right? So someone, if you explain that to them as they're trying to take your car, which they won't get that far, not here. But if that happens where you live or to you, just say, you know, one of you's going to get nicked for car theft, you know. So what do you want to do? It'll make them think. You've got to own it. You've got to make sure that they know you know the law. They go in thinking you know nothing about nothing. No, they can't force their way in, especially if you're a vulnerable adult. The only time that they can force their way into a house is if they've got absolute proof that there's been there's a criminal being harboured, or you are a criminal, right? And you've done something, you banged to rights. That's one, and the other is if for health and safety reasons. So, you know, I don't know, unsafe gas, or they can use a few little tactics to try and get in there, but you just got to think on your feet. Think on your feet and own it, and own them, because you do. You're paying for them. They're servants. They just forget. I had a meme on my 4th of July thumbnail. Be ungovernable. Oh, I love that. I'm going to get that put on a t-shirt. I love that. I like that a lot, Lily. And it was a wheel with one of those clamps on it. Car gone. Oh. Most of the neighbours here don't speak to me because I am a straight talker. Good. Yeah. That's a good sign that you're either there or you're on the path to leading yourself. You don't need anyone else to lead you. You know, that's why I'm saying, stop looking at people like Trump. Stop looking at twatty Farage. You know, there are people in this country that don't even know who Keir Starmer is. This is what we're up against. Ridiculous. Couldn't make this shit up. I think I've just got to put the noise cancelling thing on because Storm's drinking. That's not helped at all. Be over in a minute. I mean, you must be able to hear that. I think next door can hear that. It's just going right through me. Like yesterday's curry. I'm not talking about calling the cops. I'm thinking Section 24A to arrest them or using force to remove them from your land. Yeah, but it's got to be reasonable. So so for example, you need to be filming all this for evidence. So if you've got two massive, big, chunky, burly bastards, right, that are on your driveway giving you shit, saying we're going to take your van, we're going to take your car, right, and they've got stab-proof vests on and all of this stuff to make them look way harder than they are, right? Then you've got to match that force, and that force. I'd have a baseball bat, because that makes it even, you know, and you're using reasonable force without actually using force, if that makes sense. You've got to even it up, but record everything. Explain why you've got a bat, you know. Learning to lead yourself means letting go of other people's expectations. Yeah. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. You see, that was another thing that that this chap called me fake, you know. Yeah, he was really, really, really nice. We got on really, really well. He engaged in the chat, engaged in the comments section of nearly every video, sent email after email after email. Like looking back, maybe like some sort of obsessive thing, you know, thinking back. Now, so he went from being all right to being Jekyll and Hyde, really, really abusive, right? Yet he called me fake. I've got 4 years worth of videos. All you need to do is go back 4 years and listen to me. I've stayed consistently okay. You know, I've not changed. I've got stronger. You know where you stand with a straight talker. Exactly. And I love that. I love straight talkers. You know, I love it. I've got respect for them. But remember that there are people out there that can't stand up for themselves. And sometimes, but that doesn't make them bad people, you know? And sometimes you have to stand up for people. It's the right thing to do. Not everyone's like us. They can't. It's best not to open the door to them. Yeah, just speak. You can either speak through the window, speak through the door, or not speak to them at all. My preference is the latter. However, depending on the situation, because I will read the situation very, very well first, right? I have thought about, because I heard someone else mention this and it worked for them, and I quite like the idea of it. And that is to keep one of the dogs back. So mine would be probably Storm, because she's more intimidating, right? Keep her back on a lead or by a collar and just don't say a word to him. At the front door open, don't say a word to him, but just look at him like this. No words. Just keep doing that. They'll soon fuck off. Because that's another thing. They can't enter a house if there's a vulnerable person inside the house. And if you get someone answering the door like that, then they're probably pretty vulnerable, you know. Saw a guy trying to get inside a house that way. Yeah, I've seen them trying to. I've seen them do all sorts of things. These bailiffs and that, you know. Again, their main tactic is intimidation, and if you own it, you know, if you believe in yourself, and you get not raged up because that's out of control, but angry, you know, and you know a little bit about the law, then they won't do that. They won't do that. They're counting on you being fearful. They're counting on it. Better off without them. Yeah. They're actually illegal. They can't go through windows. No, they can't. They can't. It's unlawful. Which is why they'll you know, they'll lose a couple of digits with my I've got a right-handed hammer. I couldn't find the left-handed one. Why did he just change? Who? Oh, yeah. I don't know. This is the problem. It was out of the blue, you know? It was just a barrage of insults, you know? Like he just lost his shit. I don't like Thai food. I told him I don't like Thai food. But then he spent, because his eyesight's bad, he spent an hour typing out a recipe and then kicked off that I wouldn't even try it. That was one of about 20, 25 different things. Bang, 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 bang. fuck off. That was it. Gone. Had enough. Some of you might have read the communication as this was happening, and I was trying to be the better man. I didn't want to stoop down to his level, you know, but he just kept on coming and coming and coming. I'd had enough. There's no need for it. No one needs to be like that. Not in our little tribe. We're not like that. We're not about that. You know, we're meant to be there for each other, supporting each other, lifting each other up. That's the polar opposite of doing that. We don't need toxic people. You know, again, I'm all about freedom of speech. Say what you want. But if you want to insult me for some reason, email me. Don't do it in public, because you'll just, you know, you'll get a shitload back from me. I don't want to do that. And then you'll just be banned. There's no need for it. We're civilized people. This is what's going to keep us above these invaders. The fact that we're smarter, we're more civilized. We are. You know, some people would say it's a bit racist. That's Terry. Yeah. Take it how you want. It is what it is. You know, nobody wants them here. They shouldn't be here. And there are countless examples of how much of a threat they are to our women and children. You know? So, sue me. Yeah, filming everything puts them off. Just puts them off. Most people are just cowering, you know. And not everyone's like us, you know, and we've got to accept that. And this is why these rapid response groups are so valuable and so important. We can be the muscle. We can be the people that lead ourselves. There to protect vulnerable people that are too nervous and too worried to be able to deal with it by themselves. All they need to do is get into that Telegram and just say, look, I need help. People will just turn up. It's game over. That's it. So we need to be there for vulnerable people. Not everyone's like us. We've got to be aware of that. Strong people can unintentionally intimidate others. If anyone, you've seen me on my walk and talks and how I am with people. I do get a bit annoyed with some people that I'm thinking all you needed to do was don't just stand there in the path with your dog, with no wriggle room for me to get around with two dogs that want to chew your dog to pieces. You know, either keep moving and I'll move around you. I'll go down the bank. I'll go right out of my way because it's my dogs that are the problem, not yours. You know, so these stupid people do irritate me, right? But generally speaking, you've seen me on walk and talks. I'm so jovial and so polite and friendly with everyone I see, everyone I meet. Yet I leave myself. You know, it's still possible to be friendly and kind and courteous, you know, and empathic. You can still be nice and strong at the same time. I've noticed that even though I've stopped moving around, everything's just got glitchy again. So I do apologize, guys. So Joanne, I had a random man trying to get into my kitchen. I don't know which of us was the most scared. Well, I mean, who was he? Did you ask him? You should have asked him. Or just got a knife out of the cupboard and just showed it him. He would have soon fucked off. I guarantee it. But then that bloke who's fucked off because you got a knife out of your kitchen cupboard, you know what he's going to do? He's going to go to the police and blame Amazon. Right. They can only make peaceful entry through the door, so keep them locked. Plus, if they are asked to leave, they have to. It's a civil, not it's civil. Not, yeah, that's right. So really, really, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff there. All very true. Very true. Know the law, or just know enough to get by. And then once you've learned enough, so that you're fluent in what you need to know, just the basics, then learn a bit more. And then when you've nailed that, learn a bit more. And then go on these rapid response call outs and learn a bit more. Before you know it, you'll go from thinking, I'm leading myself, to proper owning it, you know? You'll feel almost invincible, but not in an egotistical way. In a way that you're meant to be. Oh, Lana was born in the year of the fire dragon. I woke up to a few of them in my time. I can be very strong and intimidating, but only when it's needed. That's perfect balance. Same here, Lana. Again, I'm you know, I'm a hugger. You know, if you meet me for the first, there's been a, you know, there was a few guys that joined me, and Annie and David Gell and his wife Hazel, and I moved straight in for a hug. And I remember a bit of a look of surprise on her face, because I'm a hugger. You know, I'm a tactile guy. You know, but I'm also, you know, that as well. I won't be intimidated. Hello, Paul. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, mate. Yeah. So the whole, just going onto a boring subject, then we'll go back onto it again. Give me something juicy to talk about. The whole supplement making thing. I found this thing. One of our little tribe let me know about it. Lisa Sheridan, lovely Irish lady, beautiful, inside and out. And she pointed it out to me. And generally, it is a pretty impressive piece of kit, because you can just do over 100, you know, in next to no time, and then knock out another 100, you know, and make your own. And that could be a sideline further down the line. If you're going down there, because a lot of people have lost so much trust in the NHS and the National Health Service and Big Pharma in general, so much trust that people are going down the homeopathic route. So it could be a sideline, you know. You could sell packs of like a 7-day supply of 7 different supplements for 20 quid, and it's cost you 4 quid to make, you know. Just an idea. This is how we need to be thinking, I think, moving forward. Trying to find a natural solution to common ailments. But I'm not a doctor. But I'm probably a better doctor than most of the fucking doctors out there. You know, you get a little backhander for pushing this, pushing that, jabbing this, jabbing that. You know, financially incentivized, instead of doing it for, instead of forgetting the whole do no harm bit. You know, that they don't have to adhere to by law. It's the same as the police. You know, their oath. You ask them to repeat their oath, none of them will be able to remember. All they want is that uniform and that pepper spray and that taser. That's all. They don't give a shit about you. Again, not all of them, just the vast majority of them, probably about 95%, if not more. My neighbour had it all on camera, and he sent the footage to the police. 3 days later, 2 PCSOs, plastic police. But plastic police, sometimes, no, I was going to say sometimes they're better, but they're not. You know, a lot of them have got even big. They just think they're police, and they're not. They've not got the power of arrest. You know, they can't detain you. They can't do anything. All they can do is radio through to the actual police and then get them to turn up. And even then, you know, remember, they don't work for you. They work for the Crown. You are very welcome, Lisa Sheridan. I knew you'd be watching. How you doing, sweetheart? And thank you for letting me know about this gadget. And I will try and I'm just hold off on buying one if anyone's considering getting, you know, making their own supplements, which I highly recommend. Even if you learn just 5 or 6 different ones, it could be a game changer and keep certain ailments at bay. And you could be helping your community out. And this is a really, really quick way of knocking out loads of them. So yeah, thank you, Lisa Sheridan. You are equally lovely, both inside and out. Oh. It's pissing it down. That's very kind. No info on whether they had caught him or even looked for him, Joanna. Yeah, well, again, they're not there to. They're not really there to solve crimes anymore. You know, I think that's become pretty evident to most, if not all of us. You know, they've let so much slip through, so much, and it's all been passed down from above. You know, so all of these police officers, you know, they're an insult to humanity. You know, even a passerby. If a passerby, there's certain words that YouTube don't like that I'll say because it'll keep us small, like the word rape. So there have been instances where police have passed a taxi where there's been a young white girl being raped in the back, and because of orders passed down, he's overlooked it. Even a passerby, if I saw something like that, I'd fucking kill him. I'd kill him. I wouldn't be able to stop. So, you know, again, I'm not advocating for violence, but I think if you see something like that happening, get stuck in. You know, try and reduce the amount of trauma that your girl's going to have for the rest of her life. Do something. So yeah, I've got no respect for the police. None. Zero. Sub-zero. I've just started intermittent fasting. Yeah, just be careful. Be careful with that. Because you can end up building up excessive acid in your stomach, because your body will still keep producing acid, and then some of that acid kind of goes through with your food as it's broken down and then out, as you know. But if you're doing intermittent fasting, just got to be aware of the fact that your body's still producing that acid, and if it's got nothing to break down, it's going to build up. And if it builds up, you can end up with ulcers. And if you end up with ulcers, the acid's going to burn through those ulcers and through the lining of your stomach, and you're in trouble. So just do lots and lots of research into that first. But you can benefit from it. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to be, yeah, you know. I did a very old video, explaining that I went quite some time without food, a very dark time, and my body crashed, and it was bad, you know. But on the other side of it, I felt completely renewed. But I wouldn't recommend everyone do that, because it's we're not meant to be like that. We're meant to eat little, often, a little bit here, healthy stuff, you know. So eat better, eat less, do more, and you'll be fit as a fiddle. So when I say eat better, I mean better food. You like that word super, don't you, Lisa? Super. I'm doing super, so I am. Lovely accent, beautiful. But yeah, watch how you go, Bo Witchy, with the intermittent fasting. It might work for you, and I hope it does. I really do. They looked at the footage my neighbour sent. Oh yeah. I've missed this, but can you elaborate on the supplement making it? Sign, post me to it, please. Yeah, I think it's only about 3 videos back. It starts with any video that I start with in all caps, City Prepping UK. That's kind of, you know how a lot of channels have got just the lay people, the whoever people, and then they've got the members, and they kind of, they save lots and lots of good juicy stuff for the members, the paying members, you know, as they grift along. Well, when I put City Prepping UK, that's generally aimed at anyone that's interested in prepping. Anything that doesn't start with that is for you. It's aimed at you, you know, non-paying members, if that makes sense. So anyway, going back to your question about the supplements, it's just a couple of videos back, and it just shows you a couple of supplements that I've been making for quite some time. The new one is lion's mane and black pepper, because I've been taking lion's mane for a long time now, and it does work. I'm telling you, it works. But I've come across this little gadget that Lisa Sheridan sent me, and I bought it. But I'm trying to contact. I can only find 2 sellers on eBay that sell it. So I'm going to try and I've contacted one. I'm still waiting on a reply. I'll try and contact the other one and see if I can get 10% knocked off that as well. So you can do over 100 at a time. It'll save you hours of fiddling around, especially with turmeric, you know, because your fingers just go all yellow, you know, and then you don't realize that you've just wiped a little bit on your camo trousers, and you've got another type of camo, desert, and you look like a chain smoker. So it just removes all of that. It's a nice clean way of doing it, very efficient way of doing it. It's just a little gadget. So have a look at the last video, not live, my last video, and then a couple of videos before that, mate, and you'll see what I mean. Michael's just said, the Outriders just said, good to talk to you, by the way, Michael. Yeah. And whilst I'm here, I don't know if anyone's seen the post that I put in the community section. Myself and Michael, we're trying to arrange a gathering, a proper interpersonal gathering of 15 to 20 people. Now, 15 people maximum camping in the woods, £15 a night in June. Let me know if I'm right, Michael. It was the 13th and the 14th of June, which is a Friday and a Saturday night. But there's also like a pod, like a camping luxury pod thing, which is quite expensive, but it can hold 5 people. But it's quite luxury, so it works out about 44 quid each if you share amongst 5 of you. We're trying to get that up and running, so if anyone's interested in joining us, just as far as I know, there's only 3 of us that are interested, but we've got until June. So I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to fill that number. Yeah, get in touch, email me if you're interested. And ladies, don't be put off. You'll be with good men. You'll be looked after. You'll be safe. Now making turmeric and black pepper in vegan capsules. Good on you, Michael. I'm telling you, mate, you'll feel the benefits. You will. With turmeric, you do need quite a lot. Like two teaspoons a day, which is quite a lot. So I mean, that's probably two of those double O capsules. So with this machine, this little gadget, it only does 500 milligram. So you probably need to take 4 of them. You do need quite a lot, but you don't need to add that much black pepper to it. But the black pepper does activate it by, I'm not sure if it's over hundreds or it might be over 1,000 times, make it more potent. It's incredible stuff. And then look at the benefits, the health benefits of eating turmeric and black pepper. Unbelievable. Yeah, it is. It will be very, very time saving, Lana. There's a lot. It just when you take it all apart, it looks like there's a lot going on there. So I'm a little bit, there's part of me really looking forward to trying it out. I've watched a couple of videos on it. It doesn't look hard, but I think practice makes perfect, So I just need to get some practice in there, and I'll let you know how we'll get on. But I would recommend that you get one. But just hang fire. Let me see if I can get some money knocked off for you first. Capsule would come in handy. Yeah, definitely worth investing in one. But yeah, like I said, let me try and get some money knocked off for you first. It might not be much. It might just be 10%. You might haggle with me. The other one might haggle with me and just not 5% off, but they're both at exactly the same price, different eBay shops, but the same price. I'm good at fasting as long as I have a packet of chocolate chip cookies to stack on. Me too. I have developed a bit of a sweet tooth, and it's not good. It's not good. I'm having to, Friday the 13th and Saturday the 14th of June. If anyone's interested in being around top shelf company, where you can literally talk about anything and not feel like a twat, like you would with your neighbour or the average Joe in the street, be surrounded by completely like-minded people. How beautiful would that be? A fire. Cooking over a fire. I'll make it proper authentic. We're also, myself and Michael, we're looking into bringing air rifles along, targets along, bows along, arrows along. I just hope we've not got any psychopaths that are just pretending to be nice that suddenly turn it on us. But then I think I'll be able to deal with that. But yeah, we're just trying to think of activities and stuff that we can do during the day to make it even more interesting and more memorable, So well worth. Just email me if you're interested. Medicine in this house consists of buttered crumpets. You can't beat a bit of crumpet. I love a bit of crumpet, me. Only on days that end with Y. Banana cake, love it, and chocolate biscuits. Yeah, sounds like a nice little menu. That defo interested in a meet, and hopefully will be with transport by June. I hope so, mate. And look, you know, if you're on the way and someone's kind of having to pass by you, maybe they could give you a lift. There might be a problem in my car because I'm going for a smaller car, you know, than the one that I've just lost. And I'm going to have to fit all of my gear in there. On top of that, I'll be bringing bows with me, air rifles with me, maybe crossbows, I don't know yet, targets, target boards, all my camping gear, 2 dogs, and maybe extra camping gear for anyone that wants to come along that's not got any camping gear, just so I've got you covered, whether that be a tent or a hammock with a tarp. You know, I do recommend hammocks, but I can't stay in a hammock. That would be my preference. But it's got to be a tent for me because I've got the girls. I can't get them both in a hammock. But I've got plenty of hammocks if anyone's interested, plenty of tarps. I've got you covered. So don't let that put you off. So yeah, have a think about it. My mum has the machine and she makes turmeric and black pepper ones for the whole family, bless her. She's in her late 70s, but swears by turmeric. Berwichi, absolutely bang on. You know, all you need to do is a quick 10-minute, just to get so you've got a rounded picture, quick 10-minute Google or DuckDuckGo or Yandex search, and all the information's there, or YouTube. You know, so much information. It's so good for you, and you know it's going to be good when you've got a senior citizen knocking them out, because they know what they're on with. You know, they're still in touch with the old ways. This is why it was such a travesty, such a crime. That so many got wiped out and nobody's talking about it. So that's a lot of knowledge that went with them, a lot of wisdom. So it's down to us to bring it back in honor of them. Yeah, I've just thought, Lana, Friday the 13th, I might set off really early and just do 20 miles an hour all the way there, and just be just checking my mirrors every second, and making sure I've got nothing combustible in there, or too many combustibles in the car. I'll come camping, but I need somewhere to plug in my heated rollers. I've got you covered, Joanna. I'll be bringing the solar generator, and if I've got room, I'll be bringing the petrol one as well. So if you really need to do your hair that much to make yourself so you don't wake up the following morning with like proper bedhead, which no one will mind, you know. People will just be appreciating the fact that you're there. No one gives a fuck about your hair, you know. No one cares about my hair. I don't even care about my. And he reckons that I'm just bald, that I don't shave it. That was another thing he said. It was. Oh my god! It was incredible. It was incredible. And Lisa Sheridan, she witnessed some of this, because she did a mention. It wasn't a go at him. She was just trying to say, well, but you know, this is. I'm trying to make a point here. If you don't mind reading this, that Terry's got a point on that. That's all she said. And next thing you know, he's saying, you know, why are you? I can't remember the word he used now, but intimidating or something like that. Why are you intimidating me? Or why are you attacking me? Or I don't know. He just lost his shit. I had a capsule get stuck halfway down. Yeah, that's. I did mention that. That it might be for a lot of people who struggle to swallow. You might be better off with kind of getting smaller capsules and just taking more of them, and making sure you've got a pint of water to make sure that it goes down. Each one goes down properly. Some people just really struggle with pills, and those double O's are, you know, they are quite big. But I don't. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, I can't imagine anything worse than that, brother. Just getting one stuck in my throat. Yeah. I love that response. Thank you, Bewitch. I am so validated by your kind understanding. I love that. Oh, if I can make it, I'll bring a wee solar Jenny, so you can plug them into. Yeah. I understand it's a very, 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 very long way for you to travel, Lana, and we picked the Midlands because it's central. It's not just that it's more convenient for me. It's not just that it's more convenient for Michael. It's just central. So, you know, it would make it, you know, it would just seem more practical. And the way that Michael's described this place, it sounds utterly stunning. And I've also got, I'll show you what else I'm planning on bringing as well, just to add an extra bit of magic to both nights. Bear with me a sec. You see this? Right, so it's actually a karaoke machine, but you can just play, you can play, I don't know why I'm stood there, like twisting my back over. You can just play music through it via Bluetooth, and then this here is a disco ball, and it goes around. So all of those blue lights, and then the front of the speaker, this changes color and reacts to the beat of the music. So we could get some, you know, some really nice chilled out music on the go. Nothing offensive to anyone, you know. And you'll see the light from this hitting the canopy of all the leaves in the trees above us, you know. So it will be a magical experience if you can make it, you know. And we will pull this off. We'll make it as enjoyable as we possibly can. We'll pull out all the stops. It would be amazing. It would be amazing, you know. And the dynamics, you know, of 15 to 20 of us, all just getting on and just bouncing off each other in person. Remember, 90%. I know I keep saying it, but 90% of communication is non-verbal. So being in the presence of each other, it'll be incredible. I can't wait, and I know Michael can't. Flumposting. I don't recognise your username, my friend, but welcome to the clan. Good to see you. I'm drinking turmeric matcha green tea and true cinnamon. Is it just cinnamon? Are you trying to mess with my head? True cinnamon in hot water. That sounds great. I've heard of matcha green tea, and obviously I have drank turmeric tea as well. If you add the right stuff with it, it's quite nice, and it gets into your, if you drink it warm as opposed to hot or cold, gets into your system quicker, more efficient. Get not nostalgic and do rag rollers. I don't know what a rag roller is. I'm looking forward to it. It's not in Derbyshire, Berwickshire. I bet Outrunners already told you. Yeah, it's in Worcestershire. It's there, which is sort of kind of West Midlandsy, you know. So it's still in the Midlands. But again, you know, if anyone's going by that way, and anyone's, you know, get chatting with each other, say where you're from, and we've got plenty of time to arrange all this, plenty of time, but there you know, there are limited spaces. That's the only downside. But I think it'll be the right amount of people. Can you recommend a nice young strong man to carry all my luggage? That would be lovely. We can carry. I would carry your luggage for you, Joanna, when we get there. But I'm afraid you'll have to get it into your own vehicle. But I will endeavour, because I do think all of the men here that will be going are good men. You know, we're old-fashioned like that. Tangy. It does sound tangy. Yeah. It was nasty, Terry. Very nasty what he said to you. Very, very personal stuff. He called you out on. Shocking. Yeah, it was, Lisa. Yeah, it was. It was uncalled for. Again, Jacqueline Hyde. It came from nowhere. And initially, I thought, is he having something? You know, because with text, you can't. There's no tone of voice, no eye contact, no, you know, body language, nothing like that. I was just thinking, is he having a crack? Is he messing about? But it became very obvious very quickly that he wasn't. And yeah, you know. Well, people they never say stuff like that to your face to face. Anyone can say shit like that in a text. Yeah, I don't know where you hail from, Berwickshire, but like I said, I'm sure that we can figure something out somehow. That Michael's just put the address there. So you can figure out, you know, how far away it is from you from you. If you can manage just a bit of, you know, enough just to carry, or a decent rucksack or something. One of us could drive out to the nearest train station and pick you up. There are loads of ways around this. A million ways to skin a cat. Sorry, Joanna. I know you've got a cat. I would never skin a cat. It's just a term. No, we've gone past the 2-hour mark. We'll go up to 2.5 hours because we've got a lovely little flow going here. But I do want to try and keep it to that, if that's all right with you guys. Just so it's not too big. Yeah, bed hair, not on my watch. I don't mind. I think I like bed hair. You know, when they've gone to bed and it's just all lovely and flowing, and then they get up in the morning, it's all up there and out there and all on one side, and their eyeliner's kind of all down there. Hilarious. I enjoy turmeric milk with honey. Golden milk. I've never heard of that. I'll give that a go. I've never heard of that. Golden milk. Yeah, I'll give that a go. Yeah. See, we learn stuff from each other, you know. I might not always get it right. I'm only human, but I do try. And yeah, I've learned loads from you guys. I would definitely give that a go. But I've still not got any milk. because I refuse to buy the Muller shit that they sell at my local shop. So, you know, I just keep buying cream and powdered milk. That's it. So I've not had milk for a month. I like the way you've spelt that, Bo Witchy. You've spelt it how it sounds, which is easier for me easier on my brain. The matcha green tea smooths it out. Yeah, I want to get some. I don't know why I've got loads of different types of tea in, because I've pretty much given up alcohol, you know. But I will probably bring you know, a bottle of vodka or something along to this weekend, because I quite like the idea of having a little drink under the stars or under the canopy of the trees, you know, around a fire with good people. Yeah. So that'd be an exception. So I've got shitloads of tea in, loads of different types of tea in, but none of it's matcha. The heated rollers are a deal breaker. I was 68 on the 16th. Oh, belated happy birthday to you, Joanna. You will not compromise. I can dance as long as the clicking of my hips doesn't offend too many people. It wouldn't offend anybody, you know. The more people we see dancing, the better. And like I said, you know, I'll be bringing power along. So I can take care of that. It's not a problem. If it means that much to you, it's not a problem. And I've got a proper old army camp bed as well, so you can sleep off the floor. I can bring that along. If, again, have a think about it, Joanna. See what you think. Space, but defo include a pinch of black pepper. You see, black pepper. What? Yeah, I'm wondering if black pepper is like a secret switch that it just affects things. You know, it zaps things into becoming something more powerful. Because the black pepper was in my lion's mane supplements. So, and they say don't bother with turmeric unless you've got black pepper with it, because it just boosts it and then properly boosts it. So I wonder, black pepper is required for absorption. Why did I not know that? Thank you very much, Flump. I'd rather call you. Can I call you Austin? Flump. We used to call flumps. You know those giant marshmallows that you put 2 in your mouth and you. Flumps, yeah, giant marshmallows. That's what we used to call them. Flumps. But yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. She has claws and could skin you. Bloody hell! How far behind is this chat? Because I said that ages ago. Again, it's something I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know what to do without screwing it all up. I did do something and it changed it for the worse. So I just thought this was better than it was when I changed it. So I don't know how far behind. It's meant to be live, like live chat, live. As in, I say something, you type something. But then I've got to also take into account that. But then, having said that, taking time to type, I'm the world's slowest typer, right? But I've seen people like this. Send. And I'm just amazed, you know? I'm like, A, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad, but I'm not very quick. You don't do limited space. Well, we just get you a bigger tent. Right, ladies and gents, shall we call it a day? It's been lovely. It has been lovely, you know. It's when we get going. I mean, I could do this all night. I could. And I know some of you guys could as well. It's good to hear, because Lana lives in you know, way up in Scotland, which is why I said it's a long way for her to travel down to the Midlands. But it'd be lovely if she could make it. Lovely, you know. But she's just that really horrific storm that came across the northern parts of Ireland and Northern Ireland, went up through the Lake District and straight through Scotland, and she bore the brunt of it. So her house has sustained some damage. I hope you don't mind me mentioning that, Lana. A roof, a tree, massive tree. Yeah. Certain terpenes have different effects. Is that what it is? A terpene? I didn't know that. And combinations do similar things to the cannabis terpenes. Whoa, this is which black pepper has in abundance. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, you were, Lana. It was bad. I did have a proper good look, and I thought Lisa Sheridan might have been affected by that as well, because she lives in the southern part of Ireland. So generally, she was okay, just a bit breezy. Hello, Linz. Oh, it's such a shame. It's such a shame you've just joined us, sweetheart. We're about to kind of call it a day. We'll give it another 5 minutes, and then we'll shut down. Just so that it's a more bite-sized live stream for people to just listen in on whilst they're doing the hoovering and with the headphones on. I know that some of you guys do that, or have it on in the background whilst you're pottering around and listening. I think I've just got one of those voices that kind of, it's just so drony, you know, that people just feel, and everything, to get everything done, but in a slower way. Oh, Linz, where are you from? Where do you hail from? Army camp bed. Yeah, I'd need the army. Well, I mean, I have got a camping toilet that can be used as a composting toilet, but I'm just going to be limited for space, so I won't be able to bring that. But we'll be camping. You know, it's traditional that you just disappear off. Just going to powder my nose behind this tree, something along those lines. You know, but I've got a blow up bed as well, Joanna. Just, if you know, not a problem. But 3 toilet breaks. Yeah, don't piss on me. Don't piss on me. Inflatable bed, love. All these have terpenes, which is why they are medicinal. Yeah, do you know? Honestly, this is the way to go. This is why I'm really getting my head into, especially now I've got this little gadget. I just need to start using it. Starting to make my own supplements. I think it's the way forward. You know, you'll get one neighbor making supplements, another one making little tinctures. Just going back to the old ways, and just trying to separate ourselves as much as we possibly can from big pharma and big tech and big government. You know, just live a separate life. It's doable. like a parallel. My first time in a live. I'll come back again if I may. Oh, you're more than welcome, Flumpostin. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's lovely to see. It's lovely to see new names in there, you know, and getting involved. You know, we love it. We love it. Everyone's welcome. Everyone. I was missing. Oh, missing another one that's changed the name. Bloody hell! If you got, so there's you, our Ruth. She's changed her name. But yeah, it's yeah. This is what a confused skinhead looks like. Doesn't take much. Yeah, absolutely, Lana. Imposter. Lana, you would be welcome to stay with me. I am not really bonkers. I don't know, Joanna. You seem pretty bonkers to me. The reason I know that is because it takes one to know one. So we can all relate to you. In the process of being sorted. Yeah, it's not going to be an overnight thing, is it, Lana? We had a bit of a chat about that. It's insurance companies, you know, they're just like, give me your money, give me your money, give me your money. That when it comes to paying out, they really drag their heels. They don't like paying out. Look at what happened with the wildfires in America. You know, insurance companies have gotten out of control. You know, they've gained such a monopoly because you can't buy a house without having house insurance or life insurance. You can't have a car without car insurance. You know, most of us don't want to have a furry family member without having pet insurance in case something goes wrong with them. You know, it's insurance. You know, and the governing bodies of these insurance companies are fucking useless because they're all juiced in. So that's another thing that needs to change. So on that note, you lovely lot, we'll draw it to a close and leave it on a beautiful, beautiful high, and call it a day. But thank you very much for joining me, everyone. Always appreciated. Always appreciated. Have a good think about the camping trip. Again, email me. My email's in the description box. Email me if you're interested, and I'll pass on more details to you, and we'll do any finalising further down the line. Plenty of time, and yeah. Stay happy, stay strong, stay focused, and stay determined. Much love to all of you, and ciao for now.